In a new development, a homeowner believes she was transferring her property to a group of investors. However, these alleged investors are now unlawfully retaining her property, demanding a $20,000 ransom to get it back.
You've undoubtedly heard about ransom demands in connection with a kidnapping when the criminals demand money to release a victim. But now extortionists are doing the same with the title to your home or property and holding it captive until you pay a huge fee.
A St. Johns County woman says she's being victimized in a similar scheme. She spoke with News4JAX I-Team investigator Tarek Miner. He's going to walk you through a simple way to protect your property, regardless, Tarek, of the county that you live in.
Well, here's what she says happened. The elderly woman who put her house up for sale on Facebook Marketplace last June says right before they went to closing, the investors backed out of the financial deal, saying they didn't have the money. What she says she didn't know is that in the contract she signed, she gave the investment company the ability to put a memorandum of notice or a lien on her property. The investors are now demanding $20,000 to give the title to her home back to its rightful owner.
I'll send you a contract. So the next day she sends somebody else to look at the property real quick, take a couple of pictures and all that.
76-year-old Micheline Booten says she thought she had a buyer to purchase this 4-bedroom, 2-bath home in St. Augustine, signing what's called an assigned contract with an investment company for a purchase price of $350,000. She says the investment company assigned the sale of her home to 3 different buyers who either cited a lack of funds at closing or simply didn't qualify. After the final closing failed, Booten says she received an alert from the St. Johns County's Property Fraud Alert Program that there had been activity on the title of her home.
They recorded a memorandum of purchase, a notice of purchase on my title. Then they sent me an email. Well, we clouded your title and now you won't be able to sell till you pay us.
Booten says the investment company is now demanding $20,000 to release the title back to her possession. St. Johns County Clerk of Court Brandon Patty says various kinds of property deed schemes are prevalent in North Florida.
And they're using all sorts of forms of medium, whether it's on Facebook Marketplace like Ms. Booten here in St. Johns County, or a variety of other mediums as well. They look for opportunities to exploit the law. And one area that we as clerks are focused on is that, candidly, we're ministerial in our role. If a document is legally sufficient to be recorded, we have to accept it. And so that puts us in a position of where it's very difficult to help protect residents against these types of crimes.
Patty says St. Johns County's Property Alert Program will notify home and landowners immediately as soon as there's been a legal recording with the clerk of court on their property. He says sometimes the fraud is being committed by unethical local investors or more organized crime groups overseas.
And these are just transnational criminal networks that are targeting our residents. And they're very smart and they're very good at what they do, and which means that we have to strengthen our defenses and help spread the word as much as possible.
As for Mrs. Booten, she tells News4JAX she still doesn't have a clean title to her property. She is pursuing legal action against the investors she went into business with to release her title. Right now, she's renting that home because she cannot sell it until that lien is lifted.
Let this also be a warning. Going without an agent can make it easier to sign bad or illegal contracts because you might not know the legal details, miss tricky parts in the contract, or feel rushed to sign something you haven't fully checked. Real estate agents know the ins and outs of contracts and can help you get better deals and avoid traps. If you decide to go it alone, it's a good idea to get a lawyer to look over any contracts to make sure you're protected and increase your chances of avoiding situations like this.